Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 10 with the Pittsburgh Penguins. If you're last with us, you would have seen that Crosby retired, so we went into full rebuild. We're just going to do a quick recap to show you what we ended up doing. For the most part, we ended up getting rid of everyone. We got rid of Rantanen, Newhook, Boldy, Carlson, Yari, and Smith as well. All for picks, some of them this year and some of them next year as well. But the main thing is, since we did lose our pick the year before to Philly, we now have to make sure that we don't finish dead last, because if we do, we would have contributed to our rivals, and we don't want that. So currently Nashville's in last place pretty comfortably. We do have 50 points, so I mean we're around 500, so we could easily go up or down. But even if you look in terms of half of the league, we're only around 5 points away from half the league. So far it hasn't been that bad, but we are going to end up offloading some players as well. Some of the players that might not be with us for the long term of the save. So it makes sense to just get rid of them maybe now and see if we can get something for them. We'll probably end up shopping some of the players. We do have some of them on trade block as well. But I'll give you a quick look at how well our team is faring here so far. In terms of grades, I mean, Perfetti's the only one that's really doing anything. We might even offload him. I might look at what trades we can get. McTavish, I feel as though he's going to stay with us, but we're going to still try and price out every single player that we end up having here to see what they're worth towards the trade deadline. Eklund, we end up putting on trade deadline or trade block as well. Lock show as well. No one's really averaging that well. So in terms of points, I think our best one is McTavish with around 45 points in 51 games, and Jagger as well. So those two might end up staying with us, but Perfetti, it might just be a sign and trade at this point. He's doing well. He's fighting everything that he can, but we do need picks. We need them now, and even in depth chart wise, Daigle is probably our best prospect, which is kind of sad. Jackson Jacobson is doing pretty decent, but 16 points in 51 games. He is starting to develop a little bit, but still around a 4, potential 4.5. Aggressive forechecker is what he's projected as, so he's probably not going to end up scoring a crazy amount of points based on that. But we do have Fyodorov, who's coming through the ranks as well. I'm not sure if we end up signing him or if we ended up drafting him. It looks like we end up drafting him in the 5th round in our, I guess, our third year, second year there. So we end up having him. We have Fabiger that's in our AHL as well, and Silverston, who's also in the WHL currently. We do have Murray, who's playing for us currently. He's around 22, so probably enforcement. It looks like Forsman's not too bad. He's around 2.5 now. Chamber is only maxed out at around 3-star potential, so it did show him that he could have been 4-star, but I guess the best we can really hope for is him being our backup. Mershov's still in the KHL, but doesn't look like he's playing too much, so he's probably not going to develop too much. We do have San Jose's first pick. We have our 2nd and 3rd, and Edmonton's 5th, which is pretty much a 6th. And then we have ours for the 6th and 7th. So we're going to try and load up over this year and next year. But let's see what each player is worth for the most part. So we'll end up doing that probably throughout this save as we end up playing a little bit. We might even try and get rid of 2 players at once. But since we can only really shop 2 players at the same time, we're going to end up doing, we'll max them out, play a couple games, and then come back as well. So currently, Eklund is going to be worth around a 3rd, maybe even a 2nd. A 2nd this year as well. So Washington is probably the best one for that, because I think Washington's slightly worse than us. But just let's look at the story as to how we ended up coming by this player. I think we grabbed him off waivers. Yeah, we ended up grabbing off waivers just after the trade that we ended up making them. So it kind of makes sense just to offload him anyways. So we'll get rid of him to Capitals. I think Kraken are still rebuild as well. They're 55 points and 56. You know what? Maybe we give him to Kraken actually. Ship him out west. So he goes back west, and then we'll shop out another player here as well. I think Anderson's the only one that we can't really get rid of. We'll look at, where is he? Let's see, just for argument's sake, what McTavish would be worth. Just one first to probably contender. So Boston, oh no, Boston's in a total rebuild. Boston currently has 46 points. Where are they in terms of the standings? We do have Boston, and we do have Kraken that we could get rid of him for. That is the ultimate question. So we do know that. We'll have that in our back pocket, at least for now. We're probably going to have to set up organization here so we can bring in more players. I don't know why I just did that. So we'll play the Chicago game, and then we'll kind of go back to it, back and forth. Play the next little while. We end up winning this game. We end up getting Jacobson, Perfetti, Guentzel, and Guentzel again. I mean, I don't really want to shop off Guentzel, but we could always see what he's worth. But yeah, McTavish is somewhat on the block though. But just for a first for Seattle, who's not rock bottom, and then I think Washington was the other one who's just a little bit ahead of us. So we could do that, but I don't even think that this draft class is really that strong. So unless you end up getting like a top pick, then it's kind of not worth it. And it looks like San Jose is now starting to get their shape, which is kind of disappointing since we do have their pick. But it's still probably going to be a bottom half as well. Same thing with us. So, like I said, as long as we don't finish dead last, it should be good. But if we end up doing last, then it's going to be a pretty bad time having to make our rivals pay for that. We'll take another look at some of the trades, see what we can do. I know trading like this is probably not giving the same amount of value as to what they're probably worth. Delic, I guess we'll see, but I don't think he's going to be worth anything. Yeah, no one wants Delic, so he's going to be destined to be in our system there. Pearden, no, we don't really want to get rid of him. He's actually a 4-star. Who would have thought? 4-star after, I think is his second year, I guess, with us. So not too bad. Let's look at contract-wise. So probably whoever makes the most. Let's see Perfetti. I wouldn't be surprised if Perfetti's not worth that much. So Washington looks like it's the best bet. You know what? We'll get rid of him, but we probably now need to sign. Probably need to sign a player. Damn it. But I guess it's probably not what's happening here. Now he only has a cap of 5 mil. Do we do that right? We're gonna have to sign someone, I feel. He's probably gonna ask us to fix it right after this. So we still win 4-3. That's 2 back-to-back games. That's kind of insane. Without having 2 instrumental players. Yes, we need to sign someone for around 9 million for 1 season. So whatever, we'll take Wong, someone who's not actually going to play. And we'll sign him for 9 million. Uh, 10 million, whatever. Same thing. It's not really going to matter. And he's going to join us, that's for sure. We end up getting a first-round pick, so Austin Wong's going to play for us, but he's never going to play in the NHL anyways, so it's not going to matter. Just watch. As soon as we do this, they're going to send him down, and oh no, he's actually going to play for us. That's insane. So making 9.8. So currently our cap, 2 of the players end up making the most. I don't think Letang's going to be worth anything. Yeah, we're going to have to do it after. But I'm curious to see if Letang's actually worth anything. I kind of doubt it, though. But as you can see, it's a full rebuild. It does suck that we don't have our pick. If only Flyers end up offering for him, then it would have been good. I would have laughed he got upset by that if we didn't give him his number. But yeah, still in last place. But if you end up looking at it, it's not so bad. 54 points is still probably around 6th place in most divisions. yeah, we're around 5th place here, and we're around. Yeah, let's just look in terms of the league. So yeah, we're still in 23rd place. So 23rd place is still pretty good. At least it's not a top 10. That's all I can say. But San Jose just below us does kind of make me feel a little bit better. But we do have a chance to face Philly here. I feel as though we're going to lose regardless. So it's going to be kind of difficult competing throughout this. We somehow beat them with Ponzetto, Steen, McTavish, Hudson, Jagger, and Guentzel all getting goals there. I feel as though if we end up getting rid of McTavish, it's not going to be worth that much. Mason Marshment for Lockshow. I don't think we're going to do that. We're going to reject that. I think Lockshow is probably the next guy to go then. He is commanding a decent amount of interest, but yeah, we probably should get rid of him. He is a good player, but and how old is he? He's 23 though. Unless we're getting something really good for him, he might be better just to stay though. Because a 3-star player, 3-star potential as well. He's already at the top of his potential, but he's still relatively young. And I think we showed it before that he's only really worth a third. For whatever reason, they keep offering us players that we don't want. Let's look at it. I think he's towards the bottom here too. Around $1 million. So he does have very good value. And there it is. Yeah, Lock Show just under $1 million. We did extend him too. And yeah, it's a third. Third is the best that, or second is the best that we can get for him. But looks like a second next year. And what's their projection? Both are win now. Bruins rebuild. Okay, you know what? Third round? No, maybe not. Feels like it does give us a chance. We'll remember that for a little bit later. It feels like these teams won't care about too much. Let's look at the scouting though. Let's look at who's available in the draft anyways. So yeah, it looks like right D is probably the top prospect, and then it kind of falls off. Schultz is the second one, and he's only around a 4-star. Counterattacking around 20 though. Speed's pretty good. Determination isn't so much, but offensive read's pretty good. His face-offs are very good. I don't know. Schultz is his name just doesn't sound like a franchise player. And then we have a bunch of goalies, and then a lefty who is 5-star potential. So yeah, we'll have to pay a little bit more attention to that actually as we lead into it, because it's not really, it only showed him at around a 4-star potential. So, I mean, it feels like there's a lot left to be desired there. We'll play up to the trade deadline and maybe a little bit more. And next episode will be the playoffs, but we probably won't take a part in that. So you'll see, we'll kind of explain what we're going to do next season and see who ends up winning the cup this year. But it's going to be a quick episode next episode, so it won't really matter. It'll probably be maybe like a 10-minute, 20-minute episode. Canucks now offering us Lafalo for Lock Show. God, really? Yeah, we're just gonna reject that. Seems like a waste. They're not even offering anything good for him. And he's a decent player. I would expect maybe even like an aging veteran or some young guy for him that they kind of want to get rid of, but not someone that's involved in an incident. I hate this so much. I feel as though they need to fix that. There seems to be something that happens pretty frequently. And none of these players really matter. I guess Petre might be the one that matters the most. And apparently someone's suspended. Krasinski suspended for 7 days? What did he do? He had to have done something wild. We're going to be without him for that many days. And yeah, we end up losing 7-2. So he is definitely the glue that's keeping this team together. Ponzetto and McTavish end up scoring there. Yeah, we're still around 56 points. Still around the same. it looks way worse when you see a team at the bottom of the division, especially since we've been towards the top of it this whole time. So we'll end up maybe we'll shop another player. Go with potential wise, someone that might not be playing with us right now. So William Moore, we'll do a tour. We'll do William Moore and someone else. Not Jagger. Kazada, yeah, we'll do him. He's around 20, but he doesn't look like he's going to be in our long-term plans there. So a second and a fourth for Boston. I feel as though I want to do that one. A first, actually. Yeah, I kind of want to bank on that. Let's bank on Winnipeg hopefully sucking. First and a fourth seems like the best. Winnipeg is third currently. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to drop, but we could hope that they get, it's still better than a second. Like night and day, it's better than a second. So we managed to get rid of at least 2 prospects that aren't playing for us right now. But we do need to still improve some of our spots for next year. So we'll do the same thing, see if we can get some more picks of players that we don't want. Sugan, I thought was better than what it's showing here. He's still currently, I find it kind of weird that he's close to his potential at 21 and he can't develop past that. That seems kind of odd. Pesci, you know what, let's add him. And let's add Forget. I don't think Forget ends up doing anything in any of the saves that I've done. Get 2/3 for him, or second and a third for next year. Are we just gonna? It feels like we're just gonna take advantage of Winnipeg. There's no way they're gonna be able to keep all those players. So we end up sacrificing early for late, or 2/3. And you know they're guaranteed. You know, I'll take their. So I don't think Winnipeg has any picks this. There it is. They currently. Wait, what? They have our first round pick? No way. How did they manage to get our first round pick? I bet he can't click on it. Alright, let's trade them. I want my first round pick back. That's so odd. I don't know how they came to get it. I didn't know that we were making their team better. So let's trade one of our picks that we got. Maybe not Washington. I think Washington's doing better actually now. Washington's still around the same area. And then Sharks as well, Jets. Yeah, we'll give them back their pick for ours. And then we'll give them something else. Something else they might actually want. Hudson, who do they need? They need a left wing, a center, or a right wing. We'll give Lockshow actually. They'll never accept this. What would make it work? Nothing's going to make it work. Okay. Well, that just sounds like a challenge. Let's give him Steen. Steen isn't playing with us right now. He is. And what else do we have? Wong? No, Wong's just a placemat. Let's give up Crosby here. And they're still not willing to even listen to us. They know our pick's going to be terrible. But at least I feel less bad now. It's not even their pick, though. You know what? Fine. You know what? Let's roll the dice. We have the 3 first rounders. Let's get rid of Lockshow. Let's get we'll trade him away to someone. Anyone but Winnipeg at this point. So we'll give up Lockshow and someone else. Seeing if we can get a first round somewhere else as well. So where is it? Lockshow. Who else? Not O'Brien. Let's go back to potential here. I don't know how they evaluate that, but somehow it's not in line there. I guess Surin could be another one. Ponzetto, no. I do like Ponzetto. Trenko. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of someone else. So Surin will give up then. Give them up for picks. Let's see who wants them. Got a third and a second. 2 seconds. And it's to Winnipeg again. You know what? I'd rather take Blackhawks maybe? This year? One's this year, one's next year. 2 seconds. A third and a second this year, and oh, both this year. But this draft's doesn't look so good. I don't want to bank fully on this draft. I wish they would give us. Do Kraken. We'll do Kraken. So that should be pretty much it. I don't think we're going to be able to do any more trades other than that. But now we're just going to tank, and I mean, who knows? We can probably trade for the first round pick. I think we can, yeah. We'll probably be able to trade them after the draft, most likely, depending on who we end up getting. I think that's everyone that we have on our trade block. I think we only have Letang, but Letang I don't really see going anywhere. I think he retires as a Penguin. Forgot to switch the goalies. One thing that I always forget, but Blomqvist I don't think is doing that bad considering he has literally nothing in front of him. We lose 7-4 to the Leafs. I mean, they can have this one. They should have won by more probably. McTavish with a goal, Patterson, Guentzel, and that seems to be it. But yeah, now we're definitely on the bottom. I don't think there's anything we can do to recover. Now San Jose's boosting up as well. And all we can do is hope that Winnipeg just starts to really just crumble at this point. Somehow gets out of the wild card spot, and it is what it is. But development-wise, looks like everyone's kind of developing just slowly. Nothing really jumping out. Chamber with poke checks. Even Lutankov doesn't look like he's going to be anything. Looks like he's all going to be potential, but no matter what, you can't... unless we end up playing him, I highly doubt that he can actually like maintain that, I guess. But I'm really hoping our scouting is better for the draft because it seems like it's going to be a really difficult time for us. But yeah, currently 58 points. Like I said, next episode will show exactly what ended up happening, and even if we end up making any signings or anything like that. But we'll go full force on even waivers. If I see anyone that goes on waivers, I think we're just going to take them now and just trying to offload them in the season. Kind of doing like an Arizona Coyotes kind of save as well. Just kind of what they do in real life. If only we could offer, just as I say that, trade deadline. I doubt that anyone's going to do anything. Oh yeah, we got to redo it. But yeah, there should be a way that like a team like ours could just end up taking someone's contract and get picks for it. But I feel as though that might be too hard to code in the system. But somehow we're not losing every single game. So unless everyone's playing their backups against us, we're still not losing every single game. So at least that pick even to Winnipeg isn't going to be that crazy, but I think at the very end of the season, we're going to look at all the players that we end up trading and see how well they end up doing on the teams that we traded them to. Because we still kind of hope the best for all of them. None of it was spiteful, it's just Crosby's gone, so, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? So I'll play this last game here with Dallas, see if we can end up winning it. We'll do a quick look at our stats as well. Looks like Korchinski can probably come back. Well, after three more games, geez. So this is going to be one of them. We end up losing 8-3, so we've had a bunch of those. We've had a bunch of 8-3 losses. But yeah, like I said, this is just a rebuild. Hopefully just kind of a one-season turnaround. Puritan, McTavish getting goals there as well, and Murray as well. So a bunch of guys that haven't really played, but looking into this, I mean, 56 points is pretty good. He's definitely worth more than one first rounder. I don't know why they were just offering him one. And then Korchinski's doing pretty well as well. Jagger looks pretty decent. I mean, just his physical attributes look pretty good. But it looks like he's maxing out. So he was a pick I think that was done before we even took over. So he was the first pick of the era before we ended up doing before we ended up taking over. So I mean, we should have probably offloaded him too, just to really show spite. But he does look like he's developing into a decent player. Korchinski also offensively doing very well. He's still only a 3.5. His stamina is also off the charts. Team player as well. Somehow defensive ratings kind of got forgotten about, but his offensive rating is massive, massive. Hemming was I think one of our first drafts there. We got acceleration and agility there, but even his offensive intangibles are pretty good. His defensive read's pretty good as well. So I do like his development. And Pearden is the only real 4-star and maxed out 4-star. So maybe he can even develop into a 5-star player, but I'm really hoping this isn't the end of it. But he looks like a decent counterattacking. So, I mean, the fact that he's only 21, we can definitely build around that kind of stuff. Jacob Jacobson as well, or sorry, Jackson. I keep saying Jacob Jacobson. Even his physical looks pretty good. His acceleration and speed. He's a team player. I do like that. Shooting accuracy is pretty good, but he doesn't shoot. So 19 points in 60 games. His grade isn't really that crazy. It's showing that he's a dangler, which I find kind of odd that they would decide that one. But I guess that is probably his best attributes at the moment. And counterattack, maybe not. Maybe his passing's not next level there. Letang also. Petra, no. Hudson is probably the only one that we really want to look at as well. But again, we just have mostly offensive defensemen. So I know we have in the system, we should have some stay-at-home defenders. Where is he? The guy that's supposed to be good, but I don't think that he's going to be. Not Forsman. Not Fyodotov. Who's the other guy? Who now is not even in the top here. Nilsson. Oh my god. So this guy, apparently 5-star, but he's a two-way defenseman now. But his determination is pretty high. At least his defensive rating looks like it's improving. I will say that. It doesn't look like he's as much of a write-off as it looked like, but it doesn't look like at this rate he's probably not going to play for us until he's 23. So I don't really like that. And then I think that's pretty much it. I think Patterson might be another one. But again, he's a setup man. Oh, I thought he was a defender for a second. Yeah, it looks like he's a setup man though. But all in all, looks like this is going to be a terrible season. Like I said, just not finishing last is probably the best thing that we can do. But we'll do a quick recap in the next episode, show you everything that we end up missing, and then show you where every single player ends up going. And then just kind of build from that. And then we'll do the whole postseason as well, and hopefully just root for the players that started off the season with us. So thank you everyone for watching, and until next time.